Morning. It is Good Friday, and this morning I'd like to talk about the expectation of perfection in the media and whether that's a stumbling block to diversity and inclusion. So I think it comes from within the industry. It's a case of we think our viewers will not be able to accept this. Our viewers like X, Y, or Z. My view is that viewers have the ability to actually accept whatever it is that you present to them, if you present it to them in a way that reveals a story or allows them to connect with that character. So it is my role, I can't talk about anyone else, but it is my role to actually present those types of people that maybe a viewer is not used to or hasn't come across to that viewer, so that they can be able to relate to them if they actually meet someone like that in the future. And this doesn't have to just be about, ability or disability, but it's just someone that's different to them, real characters. For example, I'm not wearing any makeup. Hopefully you can see some blemishes or whatever it is, bumps. This is the way I was born, okay? And yes, if I was presenting a show or doing something along those lines, then I could put makeup on to even my skin tones. But I generally, if I'm doing something like this, I don't mind people seeing what I look like without foundation, for example. I don't tend to shape my eyebrows, so you could see, funny look there on the eyebrows, some people might say, but to me, that's normal. I've got a hole in this top here because of the way I ironed it, and then a hole came on. But I'm at home today, so why change this just so that I can speak to you? Whereas what I want to say, still, you can understand and receive it, hopefully. So I think, again, it comes from within the industry. I was at a meeting with some really lovely people, actually, at one of the main stations in Uganda. And they were very down to earth, very straightforward with the information that was needed. And based on their experience, they were telling me that for a particular station of theirs, the viewers wouldn't like to watch people that, for example, don't have makeup on, wouldn't like to watch people that are not sort of something that they can look forward to. They're an aspirational bunch and they want to be like, oh, I can be like that person, rather than, oh, that's just someone like me, or someone that I think is below me. And I think there could be some element of truth to that. But again, it's showing those viewers, if that is their view, that the person that is just like you can also do these things, can also sort of reach out and stretch themselves. So that means that you too can do that. It doesn't have to be someone that you think is above you or has achieved more than you that can inspire you. It could be someone that is exactly like you. And that's the point. So what can I do as an individual? That's always the end point. There's so much you could talk about, so many things that you could discuss. But what can I do as an individual? I can be real. Okay, I could put real people in front of the camera and I could justify them. I could stand up for them, in meetings like that to say, yes, all well and good, we could put makeup on people, but what's the purpose of that? Are we putting out a false image and false expectations, especially for young people as well? If they can't, for example, afford makeup, then are they made to feel any less because we've chosen to tell them that this is the standard? I totally understand that in different, depending on what you're doing, then you could keep that standard. For example, if you're a news presenter or something along those lines, and even if for yourself, if you choose to wear makeup, there's nothing wrong with that. But then if there's somebody else who doesn't necessarily feel that they need makeup, then we don't necessarily need to force them to do that. So in season 1 and season 2, I left it up to the contestants to be real. If they usually wear makeup, go ahead, don't restrict them. But if they don't force them. And then people out there can see that there are differences, and not everybody looks so-called flawless, although I believe that in our flaws, we display our beauty. So be comfortable in your own skin. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not who you're supposed to be or beautiful because you don't have X, Y, or Z. And we'll discuss this further.